Welcome to the Own Your Best Life podcast. I'm May Emson, your host, leadership and mindset coach. Here, we talk all things spiritual, mindset, business, leadership, and wellness for the modern seeker who wants to align their life with purpose and inspiration. We'll cover career changes, stress management, meditation, energy, intuition, and more. Each episode holds spiritual and practical tools to help you live a life of your wildest dreams without getting burnt out along the way. Ready to live a life on your own terms? This is the Own Your Best Life podcast.
Welcome, friends, to episode number 32 of the Own Your Best Life podcast. We sometimes get to a certain point in our lives where the excitement of a goal or even just this life has worn off. We either got the reward, we got the promotion, the thing that we were trying to do, and we're just left thinking, is this it? Or so what now? What's the next step in your life when the thing you've done has happened and you've done what you wanted? Or what if you've tried something and you're starting to feel that itch of wanting something new again? So achievers, listen up, because this is going to resonate with you. Today we're going to talk about what's happening here and what to do about this feeling of uncertainty. So when you start to live bigger in either one area of your life or across multiple areas of your life, you likely are starting out by making some goals. And these can be personal goals, like meeting someone, having a relationship, starting a family, doing something physically or mentally challenging. And these can also be professional goals, like you're starting a company, you're hitting your revenue goals, you're creating products or services, or maybe you're getting a certain title or type of work. And then what happened? You achieve them, and then you either start to plateau or flounder because you're not sure of what to do next. And the question isn't really what should you do next, and this is where most people get tripped up. It's by asking yourself, why do you feel less excitement? And it's by investigating what is it that's happening or not happening in my life right now that leaves me feeling that, things aren't so great anymore. Why am I wondering about the next thing? And very often we think of life as a series of all of these check marks. I've done this, I've done that, and look at me, I'm successful. Let's just keep going and accomplishing. And we do this because of this idea that we will be happy once we've done this thing. And this does happen, but the feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of happiness is actually pretty fleeting. This is, quote unquote, the arrival fallacy. And this is a term that's coined by Harvard psychologist Tal Ben-Shahar. And this is a mistaken belief that once we've achieved our goal, we will become and we will stay happy. What happens instead is that we feel the energy that we've been harnessing towards achieving the goal start to release. We feel, in a sense, this letdown. And what I want you to realize is that this is normal. That you feeling a sense of deflation or even a sense of listlessness after a big milestone doesn't mean something is wrong with you. But it's a good time to ask yourself if you are living off of the adrenaline of achievement. And we sometimes get addicted to that rush and that stress of achieving under difficult circumstances. So much so that we keep creating new opportunities for us to experience them. Raise your hand if you've done that. When you see a little block of time in your calendar, just past this point of achievement, and you think to yourself, let's do it again. And I'm not one to say, hey, have smaller goals or go slower, but I am going to challenge you to think about what would serve you best right now. if you've just pushed yourself hard to create something in your life, to hit a goal, you've likely used up quite a bit of energy. And this could be a good time for you to recover, to take a week off, to lighten your load, and to do something every single day that fuels you and gives you immense pleasure or energy in your life. And in fact, you might like this practice so much that it will become a habit, regardless of whether or not you've just hit a big milestone or not. And it is important, however, for us to pause and create a space where you can reflect on a few different questions. So the first question is this: what did this achievement or goal mean to you? What did this achievement or goal mean to you? Sometimes we don't stop and say, whoa, it meant that I was able to recover a part of myself that was in there but hasn't been seen in a long time. Or it was to discover this new ability that I didn't know I had. Or it was a commitment to myself to make good on the promises that I made to myself. So ask yourself, what did this achievement or goal mean to you? And the second question is this: how do you feel right now? How do you feel? Do you feel physically drained, physically energized? What about your mental states? How are your emotions? So how do you feel right now, physically, mentally, emotionally? The third question is, what do you need to restore energy and pleasure into your life? What do you need to do to restore energy and pleasure into your life? So just think about that. And then number 4 is this: what would recovery allow you to do? What would recovery and recovering allow you to do? Because this starts to get us into that mode where we understand, wait, there is a purpose. I'm not just being lazy. There's nothing wrong with me that I'm feeling this different sense of energy between when I was really pushing hard to make or create something or the feeling afterwards. So ask yourself, what would recovery allow you to do? Okay, so I hope you answered those 4 questions. And obviously, if you're not at a point where you're feeling like that, maybe you're on the climb and you're just like, I just need to keep going. That's fine. But it still serves you to realize that even on a climb, you have multiple ascents. You have multiple places where you can say, today was the day. The week was one in the days. And now what? How do I want to approach the next week? Or even on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment, minute-to-minute, second-to-second, breath-to-breath. There are these small cycles that are constantly happening in our lives of recovery and rest and pushing, right? Challenging ourselves, then recovering afterwards. So just remember to ask yourself these questions, even in the climb. Because again, we can break that climb down into smaller climbs and still be able to fuel ourselves to keep going if we have this kind of mindset, if we're able to look at it at this kind of nuanced level. And so what I'm doing here with you, and I do here week to week, is starting to unpeel and unlayer, delayer, peel off, whatever you want to call it, these kind of rough parts of our brain that just gloss over some of these nuances, that attach one specific meaning to one specific word. And by the use of some of these questions, you're going to start to understand yourself a lot better. And so I want you to live really expansive and really big lives, and ones in which you feel really thrilled and you feel moved and you feel deeply full of love. And I also want you not to burn out along the way. So that feeling you have of listlessness, of boredom, of deflation, just may be a signal that you're on the cusp of burnout. And that is the moment where you take the time to infuse your life with restorative moments so that you're able to create even more beautiful and even more accomplished moments in your future. And once you've given yourself some of that space to reflect, I want you now to take in that deep gratitude of what has happened for you in your life. Then you do start the work of envisioning what's next. And it's when we allow ourselves to be fully appreciative, fully grateful of the moment right now, that we can now increase our capacity to receive. It's like we're sending a signal out to the universe that we're capable of more because we appreciate what we have. And it's this ability to feel deeply and see deeply into the truth of really how blessed we are that we get to then create. And where do we create from? We create from this energy that is a life-giving energy, a place of hope, a place of certainty, a place of joy. And without this deep sense of gratitude, appreciation, and wholeness that you feel in the moment, the foundation upon which you are starting to search for that next big thing will become shaky. But each time that you anchor into those accomplishments and into the appreciation, into your heart, into your body, into your mind, you're going to be imprinting not only what you've done, but what you're capable of doing. You're replaying the good, quote unquote, the effective, quote unquote, programs into your mind and into your body, right? Each of those accomplishments and your feelings of deep gratitude and appreciation are anchoring those into our psyche. And what that does is allows us to create a mental picture of your ability to move from uncertainty to certainty, from uncertainty to certainty. And you'll see that you've done this time and time again. So where you are right here, right now, in the in-between, is like the gray matter in your brain. And this, for me, was just this big aha. Because when I realized that every time you stay there a little bit longer, working to see what's present and what's not present, knowing that you're in this in-between place, this feeling of uncertainty to certainty, what you're doing is you're working that gray matter and you're starting to shape that unknown into the known each time. And this is literally the work of reshaping and creating your life. We think it's in these moments of achievements that we have, but it's not. It's in us asking this question. What's next? It's in you struggling to figure out what it is you want. It's in you being awake enough to get off the treadmill of making a living long enough to say that, hey, maybe this is not where I want to go. And I want you to realize that your feelings of anxiety, your feelings of unknowing, all of this is your friend. And it's your life that's telling you to go here into this unknown place, into this murky and unsure feeling, that this is the work to do. And once you've mastered the ability to navigate through uncertainty, to navigate through that discomfort, the realization is going to be that you can achieve anything, and that becomes your destiny. When you see each moment of pause after your big win as not only as, important, perhaps you'll see it then now as even more important than the climb. Even more important. So this pause, the moment after, this is even more important than the climb. So the answer to the question of, is this it, quote unquote, is yes. This is it. It's not the depressing it. It's the eye-opening, wonderful moment of opportunity kind of it. See it as that, quote unquote, and you'll never feel the same way again about all of those in between moments. All right, my friends, so that was it for us this week. If you want to experience the transformation that happens during a one-on-one coaching session, you can now schedule a complimentary life design session at www.mayemson.com/contact. I hope you have an amazing week. Love you all. Bye now.
Thanks so much for joining us this week on Own Your Best Life. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts so that you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, can you please rate and review on iTunes? I would so appreciate it. Share it with a friend, take a screenshot of it, and tag @MayEmson. This helps continue to get the word out. For more show notes and resources, check out www.mayemson.com. You'll have all the links to everything you heard here today. Thanks so much for listening. It's time to own your best life.